Syftet med den här dagen, eller rubriken, är The Future of Making Things. Och det är lite grann det förändring. Förändring är en del av vår historia och förändring kommer vara en del av vår framtid. Och det är lite grann vårt syfte från AEC är att vi ska försöka inspirera till detta här. Se vilka möjligheter vi har tillsammans inom de branscher vi agerar och de verksamheter vi bedriver. All the way from United States, please welcome Lynn Allen.
And it's predicted that within the next 2 years, 50% of all requests, easy for you to say, for proposals in the AEC industry will require BIM. Okay, so that's a lot. So if you decide that you're not going to make the move to BIM, you're going to have to win twice as many non-BIM RFPs just to stay where you are right now. To not move at all, to not move that dial at all, and really not make a lot more money. So as time goes on, more and more company owners, building owners, clients are demanding BIM. So if you really want to stay in the business, you're going to have to at least to start thinking about it. So a really important aspect, though, that people seem to get confused on is that BIM is not a software, it is a process. You can't go to the BIM store and buy yourself some BIM, okay? It's a process. A lot of people get confused. They think the software is BIM. Oh, I bought me some Revit. So, southern accent now from the US. Bought me some Revit, and consequently, I now am in BIM, right? It doesn't work like that. That's not the case. Now, there's some tools that are much better suited for the BIM process than others. I mean, I would say, hands down, Revit is a much better solution for a tool than, say, AutoCAD. But nevertheless, you need to understand that BIM in and of itself is a process. Very important. And we have some software at Autodesk. This happens to be BIM 360 Glue that allows you to take all the aspects of the model, put them together, and to run clash detection on them. I'm sure some of you are familiar with BIM 360 Glue. This is a great program. It supports over 50 different file types, not just Autodesk file types. I love that about that as well. They've worked very hard on the viewing capability of A360. And this is a 1.5 terabyte Revit model. It's a serious file. And notice how well it's zooming around. Now, as it zooms, there's some degradation, but when it stops, it doesn't take that long to actually show up and look pretty good. This has not been sped up at all. This is a real video. So that's pretty darn good. He says, okay, if you stick your toe in, you're probably not going to get much of an ROI from BIM. You're probably just going to think BIM isn't worth it, and eventually you'll just leave it. But if you jump in with both feet, at some point, not right away, you will see a much higher ROI. You will totally get it, the light bulb will go off, and you will start to make a lot more money on your investment.
Jag ska prata lite om hur vi från NCC ser på BIM, hur vi jobbar lite med det idag och hur vi ser lite på framtiden. Så det jag kommer gå igenom det är lite våra utmaningar, vad det är för olika trender som trycker oss i vissa riktningar. Prata lite om de roller som finns idag och försöka förklara lite varför det här med förändring är så svårt. Inom de närmsta 5 åren så kommer vi leverera samma byggnadsverk på halva tiden till 60% av dagens kostnad och samtidigt då reducera den påverkan som vi har på jorden med att göra det. Om man då går tillbaks och så säger vi så här istället. Ja, men vi ska inte ha ett enda fel i vår modell när vi startar produktion. Om vi sätter upp det som en arbetshypotes och börjar standardisera det sätt som vi använder våra modeller på. Det vill säga att vi gör inte som jag vill i mitt projekt och som hen vill i det andra projektet. Utan vi börjar med att standardisera det här och börja mäta. Så borde vi kunna driva någon form av förändring.
Sweco Architects.
Okej, och nu är vi i fikapaus efter Lynn Allens första föreläsning. Hur känns det så här långt?
Jag tycker den är jättebra.
Och där är det ju egentligen beställaren som styr nivån man ska sätta på BIM-projekteringen, och så får vi anpassa oss.
Ja, en fundering som jag hade där, det är ju det här När man pratar om BIM pratar man egentligen om BIM eller om projektering. BIM kan vara ett väldigt bra projekteringsverktyg, men det är svårt att skilja vad som är projektering i sig och vad som är just BIM-versionen av projektering.
Yay, more Lynn. I'm sure that's what you're all thinking. So today, we're going to talk about the nature of disruption, the implications of that disruption, how disruption leads to innovation, and my favorite part, how disruption leads to a better world, because I think ultimately that's what we're all hoping, is to have a better world for us and for our children and grandchildren. Moving on to how disruption leads to innovation. This is crazy. This is a hotel, a 30-story hotel that went up in 15 days. Prefabrication at its finest. It's in China. I know you're not totally shocked about that, but it's in China. And it's not just any building. It's able to withstand a 9 magnitude earthquake. You can see that they tested it pretty thoroughly. Their goal was to get this building put up as quickly as possible so they could promote that, of course. It's also very, very energy efficient. They have some amazing solar shades. They also are very mindful of the airflow. You know, the air is not so great to breathe in China. So they also made sure that they are able to purify the air as it's coming into the building, which is incredibly important in China. To pull it back to AEC, this is the world's largest 3D printer. I would love to see this. This is in China. And they're able to actually 3D print houses. They can print 10 houses a day, $5,000 each. They use concrete with recycled materials in that particular 3D printer. And if you take a look at this, this is the actual house. Not too bad.